Welcome to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. If you would like to support this channel, please hit the like button and consider subscribing if you enjoy the content. And now let's start with the first story. It's called Find a New Job. I've been working as a civil servant in the United States for about 4 years now. Last year I celebrated my 3-year anniversary working in the same office, but I had been doing the exact same job all of those years, which I've enjoyed. I was ready to do a different workload. Because I'm a civil servant, I have plenty of job opportunities within my job series that do all kinds of different things. I also need to change the workload I'm doing to gain a breadth of experience in my career to qualify for higher paying positions. I spoke to my supervisor about my career goals and asked what I could do to broaden my experience. He asked for time to think about it and came back a few weeks later saying that he knew some other organization supervisors who he could ask for a trade, an employee swap, 1-for-1. I had my doubts that someone would agree to that, but figured it was better than nothing. A few weeks passed and I followed up with him a couple of times without a response, so I go to his office to ask about it. He dismissively said that nobody had anybody willing to trade 1-for-1, so he recommended I search on my own for a different position if I still felt strongly about it. So I did, starting that day. Within 4 months I landed another position in the supply chain, which would give me more breadth of experience, and gave him my 2 weeks. Then, all of a sudden, he and his boss were frankly trying to find something within that organization to move me like I had asked for months before. Guess what? Too late. Got a great supervisor who's held several meetings with me, about monthly on average, specifically to help me prepare myself for my next move into a better paying seat. He really wants me to move into supervision, but I think I'll pass for now until I can max out my non-supervisory pay scale first. Then I can move into supervision at a much higher pay if I decide I want to do so. The next story is called They Will Deal With It. This is my manager's story. We'll call him Bruce. He has been managing both my and another location's Mandy's, with last night being his official last night before coming here permanently. Bruce is a funking boss. Puns be fun, so this is awesome. But evidently he just had to go out with a bang. He was regaling me with a take about the cops being called, so I had to ask. Bruce was trained as a manager at the other Wriggleload location, covering at our Mandy's frequently, always letting us know just how horrible working at Wiggle is. Bruce was sitting around, cleaning things he's cleaned previously, waiting for any of the 4 scheduled employees to show up. No one did. The general manager gives him the go-ahead to 86 the store, shut it down. As he's wrapping things up, dishes, mopping, fryer filter exchange and clean, etc., a lady pipes in through the drive-thru. She's demanding to speak with her manager about fully replacing her meal because we are idiots. No other specified reason. Bruce goes, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, Mandy's is closed right now. You'll have to come back tomorrow." "Funk that, you order my order, or I will." Unintelligible, but she said order 8 more times. Radio silence. "Hello?" Bruce continued his calm. "Ma'am, we are closed. I'm sorry, I'm the only one here." Now drive-thru lady was super peeved, saying, "If you ain't dealing with this, the police will. They will deal with this." At the sound of this, Bruce stopped listening to all else, took his headset off and continued closing down. 5 or 10 minutes later, the police call the Mandy store number, which Bruce picks up. He decides right then and there that yes, the police will deal with this. Police over the phone. "This is the Phoenix Town Police. There's a report of an issue in the store." Bruce began to not just explain-ogize for the wasted time, explaining the real situation. A belligerent customer who, by the way, is still in the drive-thru. The police said they'll handle it and asked if he needed to be contacted by the police department upon arrival. All the usual. Good old Bruce was content to just watch 3 patrol cars swarm this lady and her friend, watching one cuffed and the other needing a ride home. He grabbed his banana board and literally rode off into the sunset. The third story is called Bad Customer Service. There's a huge nationwide electronics retailer in the UK called Currys. They are renowned for having terrible customer service, but very occasionally having decent prices. I was in the market for a KitchenAid stand mixer, and my employer had an arrangement where I could buy Currys gift cards for a 10% discount. I was a bit reluctant to use them based on past experiences, but thought I would take advantage of saving a bit of cash and ordered my mixer online. delivery due in a week. Easy peasy, I thought. It was about £250 before the discount. Delivery day comes and goes, no mixer. The next day I ring up customer service and ask what happened. After 20 minutes on hold, they tell me the product is out of stock and I will need to wait for the next delivery in 10 days time. Not too bad, I'm a patient person. 10 days later, still no mixer or order update, even though it's showing as in stock and available to buy on their website. Back on the phone to customer service, more time on hold. This time I'm told there's an order backlog and they couldn't tell me when it would be delivered, so I asked for a refund. Unfortunately, in the UK, if you pay by gift card, you can only get a refund by gift card. At this point I had no desire to ever use curries again and was disappointed in myself for ever giving it a go. I would have no use for a gift card, so I decided to give them a bit more time. No prizes for guessing that this didn't bear fruit. A couple of weeks later, I used the online chat to see what is going on. Again, they are completely unable to help or confirm when or if I would receive my order. I asked what I was expected to do, and the bloke said something along the lines of, "No idea mate, you would have to take it up with our board." Ha ha ha. Fine, it's malicious compliance time. A quick trip to the company's house website gives me a list of all their directors. Another hour on LinkedIn and I've tracked them all down. I proceed to send every director a summary of what has happened and links to screenshots of the online chat I had with the rep. Less than a day later, I get a call from the CEO's personal assistant, apologizing profusely and personally guaranteeing she will sort it out. By the time this all happened, the mixer had gone down by another £60, so she processed my order again. She said she would arrange for the accounts team to send me a voucher for the difference. She was generally the hero of the story. The very next day, my mixer arrives. Happy days. A few days after that, I get a letter with a curries voucher. I thought this would be the end of my sorry saga. However, as icing on the cake, they proceeded to send me 3 more £60 vouchers at random intervals over the next few months. I can only guess that their admin team is as useless as their customer service team. For completeness, I spent the vouchers on a new oven, which unsurprisingly turned up late and faulty and had to be replaced. The last story is called "He Deserves It." This story takes place in the 90s, which was a very different world to live in than what we have today. It was sort of in the middle of the turning point between borderline abusive tough love and the advent of participation trophies. My karate instructor at the time was kind of like Cobra Kai. Not cartoonishly hard, but honestly kind of leaning in that direction. Sparring was light contact, and while you were encouraged to actually hit each other, you were of course expected to pull your punches. And everyone wore full sparring gear. Pads, cups, mouth guards, everything. So it wasn't like we were beating each other up or anything. But if you drop your guard and take a side kick straight to the gut, you'll probably be on the ground for a bit. Karate is a contact sport, and we fully treated it as such. Anyway, another part of that environment was that only winners get promoted to the next belt. As part of your belt test, you had to do a kata to demonstrate your technique and also win a light contact sparring match against another student who was also up for a belt promotion. Only the winner gets promoted. So 1 week after demonstrating my form and winning the sparring match, I get promoted. Let's call the kid Greg, because he was a good guy. Greg's dad is just losing his mind. Greg was totally cool with it, like, "Hey, congrats on the win, guess I need to work on my defense." But the dad just wasn't having it and started yelling at the trainer about how Greg deserves something for getting beat up. And he pays X amount of dollars a month for these lessons, so he expects some results, blah blah blah. Greg wasn't in any way beat up, I hardly touched him. I simply got 8 points ahead because he didn't keep his guard up. So the trainer is like, "You are insisting that Greg deserves a ribbon for losing? Okay, okay." And that brings us to our malicious compliance. The trainer steps into his office, shutting the door behind him. The whole time Greg is like, "Dad, stop it, you are embarrassing me, this is why I live with mom." But the dad apparently thought he had managed to intimidate the big bad karate teacher into getting his way, so he was just on cloud 9. Until the office door opened and the trainer tucked a scrap of red ribbon into the belt of Greg's gi with the word "loser" written on it in marker. The dad is speechless, sputtering like a fish out of water before the trainer delivers the coup de grace. "Don't worry, I made one for you too." And with that, he hands him an even bigger scrap of red cloth with "loser" on it. The dad just completely deflated, realizing that he'd been beaten at his own game, and there was no way he was beating the trainer at this, so he just kind of mumbles and leaves. The funniest part is, he took his loser ribbon with him. Greg though wore that handmade loser ribbon to class every day until he finally passed his test. He completely owned the loser ribbon and turned it into a source of motivation. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories in today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what I do and want to support me, please subscribe and hit the like button. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.